Waiting in the water-damaged wings, flood victims facing uncertainty with no fresh answers around provincial aid. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan. 3 weeks after the Canada Day flash floods, the city says it's continuing to review what caused the devastating damage while pushing the province to expand disaster recovery assistance for some of the hardest hit residents. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with more. Caitlin.
Yes, Stefan, the city staff say it's too early to tell if it was just the record rainfall or if there were infrastructure failures that caused the flooding. As that review is underway, some homeowners are looking for answers about what's next, with their homes left unlivable, including Lydia and Danielle Pion, whose backyard was turned into a raging river, destroying their garden and everything in their basement. They say as Graham Creek rose, water poured across the street and onto their property. And when the couple turned to their insurance company, their claim was initially denied. Late this afternoon, after we reached out to the family's provider, TD Insurance, they say the company will cover $25,000 under their existing policy, saying water could have gotten in many different ways.
We took pride in, you take pride as a homeowner, as a young couple building this place for our young family to enjoy, and to see all of that hard work washed away is really discouraging.
The couple says their home is now unlivable and have been left to do much of the heavy lifting on their own with the help of friends and neighbors. The city says it will also continue working with the province to expand eligibility under the Disaster Recovery Assistance Program. While the Pions fall within the activated area, they say tens of thousands of dollars in landscaping and outdoor damage still won't be eligible for compensation. Stefan?
Tough situation. CTV's Caitlin Wilson reporting live for us. Thank you, Caitlin. The mayor attempting to provide some clarity today over a new ad campaign encouraging people to consider staying downtown after work to help ease the afternoon commute. The campaign didn't sit well with everyone, the mayor saying this afternoon the city isn't making any demands of public servants. CTV's Natalie Van Roy has those details for us. Natalie.
Stefan, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe now says it's not the responsibility of federal workers to make downtown businesses viable. Sutcliffe says, in fact, the city is communicating the measures in place to make it easier to get to and from work. The City of Ottawa has prepared a $29 million 48-point plan to keep commuters moving this fall. It includes a Come and Stay campaign for increased promotion of activities and events in the downtown core. Speaking to reporters on Friday, the mayor of Ottawa commenting on the campaign's intent.
That doesn't mean we're demanding federal public servants should stay downtown. We're doing nothing of the sort. We're communicating with them to let them know all of the measures that are being taken to make it easier to get to and from work.
OC Transpo is expecting an additional 65,000 trips into the city a week this fall as more federal workers head back 4 days a week. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe says the city is focused on improving transit ahead of the fall, but some workers tell CTV News that it's taking longer than ever to get to work, and many don't trust public transit because it's seen as unreliable. Now, in terms of this transportation plan, it includes $100,000 for promotion and advertising to share mitigation measures and travel tips, as well as $50,000 for a transit communication plan specifically geared towards federal workers. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Natalie Van Roy reporting live for us. Thank you for this update, Natalie. The daughter of a Highway 17 crash victim is calling for safety improvements after 7 people have died on the highway this year.
Breaks my heart.
Mallory Brinton is calling on the province to make changes after her mother, 62-year-old Brenda Obey, was killed in a crash near Cobden in May. Brinton's petition has gathered more than 2,500 signatures and calls for better warning signs, painted turning arrows and flashing lights at intersections.
We lost 7 people this year, and that is in 7 months. Thankfully, April we didn't have a death, but we had 2 in January and 1 every other month since, and that speaks volumes. Something needs to be done.
The province says a safety review of Highway 17 is underway to identify where improvements may be needed, while planning continues to twin the highway between Arnprior and Renfrew. Today marks 10 years since the death of Abdirahman Abdi. Abdi suffered blows to his head during a violent arrest by Ottawa police in July 2016. He died in hospital 1 day later. His death was later deemed a homicide by a jury at a coroner's inquest. Constable Daniel Monsignor was found not guilty of manslaughter. In a statement today, the Ottawa Police Service says it recognizes its responsibility to learn from Abdi's death and make meaningful, lasting changes. The service is working to implement dozens of recommendations made by the inquest aimed at preventing similar deaths. Turning to the wildfire situation in this province, no new fires have been reported in the last 24 hours, and the number of active fires has dropped slightly. There are 177 wildfires burning across the province, down from 180 yesterday. The fires have displaced more than 1,800 people from their homes, with First Nations making up 12 of the 13 evacuated communities. It's a milestone in the construction of the Ottawa Hospital's new Civic Campus. A section of the parkade is now open to the public across the street from Dowse Lake. While construction on the hospital is still years away from being finished, the lower levels of the parking garage are now open. About 1,200 parking spaces are currently available. Around 2,900 spots are planned for the entire garage. The garage has been met with mixed reviews.
I love it. Yeah, it's great.
I just don't think they really needed to do this.
It's very big. It's very accessible right now because I kayak. So it's very accessible, and I'll go to the restaurants and stuff afterwards. So it's very easy to get to.
The nearest entrance to the Queensway is way down at Carling or in Parkdale in the neighborhood that I live in, with a 2-lane street that backs up already with the existing hospital and other traffic.
Local businesses say they've noticed a boost in customers since the parkade opened a couple of weeks ago, and some are already offering parking validation for up to 2 hours for customers. The remaining floors are scheduled to open later this year. A popular Halloween house in Orleans will be staying open for one more year. Earlier this month, the Albert family said the annual Halloween display at their home on Pintail Terrace may not return after a bylaw complaint. Bylaw officers found there were parts of the display that did not comply with zoning rules, but last week the city instructed staff to work with the family to find a solution. In a Facebook post today, Pat Albert says they are thrilled the display will return for one final season. The Halloween house has run for 26 years, raising more than $100,000 for CHEO. Coming up on CTV News at 5, as thousands continue to deal with the aftermath of Canada Day flash flooding, questions remain about who will be eligible for provincial support and when. Christy Cameron will help us go off script with that top story. And our Jackie Harris is here with our first look at the weekend forecast. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. The summer heat as well as the sunshine is back here in the capital. It will continue for another day. Now, right now, temperatures across eastern Ontario feeling closer to about 31 here with the humidex values along the Seaway, closer to 27. And this will continue into tomorrow. Take a look at tonight's overnight temperatures, 13, so quite cool, clear skies. Tomorrow, the daytime high will be 28, feeling more like 33. Again, lots of sunshine in store, but by the time the afternoon, early evening rolls around, we could see more cloud cover and the chance of precipitation overnight into Sunday. These details and more in just a bit.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. Enjoy a visit to the Wakefield Market tomorrow to shop local produce, prepared foods, crafts, and more. The market runs every Saturday from 9 in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon until mid-October. Taking a live look at the Queensway right now, we are seeing delays on Highway 417 in the westbound lanes from Parkdale all the way out to Pinecrest. Eastbound is seeing delays as well from Carling and Rochester in that area. And there's heavy eastbound delays on the 417 between Innis and Leitrim due to a collision. We'll be right back. Taking a closer look now at one of our top stories, it has been more than 3 weeks since record-breaking rain flooded the homes of some 6,600 Ottawa residents. Many are frustrated as they are still waiting to find out if they will be able to apply for provincial help. And CFRE's Christy Cameron is here now to help us go off script. Christy, take it away.
It's good to hear that the City of Ottawa is tapping the province on the shoulder and adding to the pressure for them to show up to deliver disaster relief. But again, check your calendar, check your notes app at home. It's 23 days after the floods. So if you live in neighborhoods like Bell's Corners or, Crystal Beach, my gosh, it was just devastation there. It looked awful after the flooding. You've been waiting on that. And I think as much as the city is doing that now, that they should have been doing that before. I believe they should have been much more present in their flood response. Much like the city councilors, shout out to Lane Johnson, Teresa Kavanaugh, Sean Devine, Kathy Curry. They were out there, right? And I just don't feel that we felt that from the city of Ottawa in the same way. They should have been holding daily news conferences. We should have been showing residents of Ottawa that they are seen and heard. And yeah, so now they're putting pressure on the province to show up with disaster relief, but I think they should have done that before. Now, beyond that, I spoke with College Ward Councillor Lane Johnson on the show today. She was talking about the province's boundaries and the criteria for the DREO program, the disaster relief program. She said it should be more accessible for people who need it. Take a listen.
All of that was because of a natural disaster. And when you call a fund the Disaster Recovery Assistance Program, I don't think I'd be prepared to settle for anything less. You know, if someone has experienced a disastrous occurrence and insurance cannot cover it, then they should be eligible to apply. And the province should be letting them know why they think that their disaster isn't as serious as someone else's.
And I think I agree with the councillor there in terms of needing some clarification on what they constitute falling into this category.
Yeah, well, I mean, it certainly hasn't had a sense of urgency. I'll say that about the province. Again, with the city of Ottawa, I do want to say, I know today they were pledging to look at the infrastructure. We have to have a thorough investigation of what happened because it could be overland flooding in one neighborhood and then sewer discharge in another. But when that is done, the people who feel that the infrastructure failed them need a promise from their city officials. And that promise needs to sound like, we're going to fix it. So this doesn't happen again.
And answers sooner rather than later. I heard that the mayor was out in some neighborhoods, and I applaud him for not turning it into a photo op, but we do need answers, some more pressure applied to the province.
And how about some daily updates next time?
Yeah,
hey,
all right.
Think about it.
Thank you, Christy. You can join the conversation, leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. Now watch Christy anytime on YouTube.
The messages or the emails that I get from them, just knowing that it's made a difference in their life, is like, why else are we here?
Coming up on CTV News at 5, how a Cars resident is cultivating kindness in her community and growing the love of gardening. We'll be right back. Coming up later tonight on CTV after the 6 o'clock news, E-Talk starts at 7, The Big Bang Theory at 7:30, Spring Break Murders at 8, Crime Scene Investigators at 9, and the rebuild inside the Montreal Canadiens at 10. Now for another check on the weather forecast, here's Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Again, another sunshine day in the capital. This will luckily continue into tomorrow. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is 27 degrees right now, and we are looking down Kaweki Point. Again, the sun's shining, and again, the wind's calmer compared to the last several days. Taking a closer look now at this evening, no clouds in sight for 7 p.m. onward, even into the overnight hours. 7 a.m., you'll be lucky with the sunshine carrying on. It's the afternoon, though, that things will change. By 6 p.m., we are going to see more cloud cover rolling in, particularly on Pembroke and Renfrew, even around the Kingston-Bancroft area. Not quite here in Ottawa, still a mix of sun and cloud, but then into the overnight, especially after midnight, there is a chance that we could see some isolated showers and more cloud cover moving through. It's Sunday, though, that we are anticipating more rain moving through. A closer look, though, at the next 24 hours, temperature-wise, 18 degrees to kick things off. By noon, it'll feel closer to 29 with humidex values. By 4 p.m., it'll feel closer to 33. Again, lots of sunshine in store and much calmer winds as well compared to what we have seen earlier this week. Meanwhile, in the valley, 13 and clear overnight, 28 in a mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow. When we look towards the Seaway, very similar conditions, clear 14 overnight, 27 in sunshine for tomorrow's daytime high. So we did mention that there is a chance of precipitation for our Sunday. We'll get to that in a moment. 28 degrees in sunshine for our Saturday. Overnight, it's going to be 16 degrees. We're starting to see the warm up begin for those overnight lows as well. Sunday, that's when we'll likely see a chance of showers throughout the day, and this will likely carry on into Monday, Tuesday, and perhaps Wednesday.
Tonight on Simply Ottawa, a Cars resident is making a difference by spreading the joy of gardening and teaching people to grow their own food. She runs a gardening page on Facebook with more than 100,000 followers and helps feed neighbors in need. CTV's Kimberly Fowler has the story.
Start small and don't expect perfection. My garden is a hot mess.
Keeping it real with sage advice on how to make your garden grow.
This is my first year growing in the greenhouse, and like my cucumbers are completely taking over. Every year I'm learning something new as well.
Rachel Gill's gardening journey started as a way to save money to feed her family. Now her garden has grown enough to help feed her community. For over a decade, Gill has cultivated a following on Facebook as she learned how to grow fresh produce in her own backyard.
We are going to talk about hand pollinating.
And it turns out a lot of people were hungry for advice.
I try to make it as accessible as possible. You can see I grow a lot of things in containers. It's not hard to do. You just need to know how. And I think that's where, people have a lot of questions, and I'm able to put that information out there in, little clips.
But Gill's biggest harvest isn't from her over 100,000 Facebook followers or from these carrots, peppers, or beets.
Sauteed with a bit of butter.
It's from helping people who needed it most.
This family has never tried garlic scapes.
With these pay-it-forward baskets.
So I dehydrate them, I make them into salts.
Neighbors and followers across the globe can donate or buy a basket of fresh produce she personally creates for local families facing food insecurity.
It honestly makes me teary, because a lot of them I actually am still in contact with. Either the messages or the emails that I get from them, just knowing that it's made a difference in their life is like, why else are we here?
Gill knows the power of community firsthand after getting help from friends and neighbors while a loved one dealt with a major medical issue.
It made such a difference in my life that I want to be able to help other people in that way too, and then encourage other people to do the same.
Last year, 74 baskets reached 17 families, with local producers pitching in with farm fresh eggs, honey, jam, and more. Proof that when one person plants a seed of generosity, an entire community can grow. Kimberly Fowler, CTV News.
And we want to hear your stories of people doing good, spreading joy, making a difference, or marking a notable achievement. We will be showcasing stories that touch our hearts and yours and make us proud of our city, simply Ottawa. You can send your story ideas to ottawanews@ctv.ca.
I think it's more of a real experience of Ottawa versus, the more touristy areas.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, Airbnb names an Ottawa neighborhood among the trendiest ones in Canada this summer. We'll tell you which one when we return. Here's another live look at traffic. Things are slow going in both directions at Parkdale, but certainly not a parking lot. If you are in the westbound lanes at Woodruff, you'll notice that the stretch of traffic or slowdowns goes all the way out to Pinecrest before it eases up. You're watching CTV News at 5.
Pure Country 94. Ottawa's home for the best country music. Listen to Pure Country 94 on the free iHeartRadio app.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. Temperature right now, 27 degrees. And it's time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
We were told verbally that our home is not livable.
Well, these crazy pictures of a home that flooded on Canada Day, just a raging river through the backyard as we get an update from the city 3 weeks after those floods. Many homeowners still dealing with the cleanup and insurance claims.
This bridge is a game changer, just like Gordie Howe was in his day.
Canadians praised the benefits of the Gordie Howe Bridge at the opening ceremony today after Americans were uninvited amid escalating tariff tensions this week.
She always tells people, you got to love everybody, right? You love everybody, and they love you.
And we'll introduce you to Canada's oldest living person at 110 years old. She has lived through transformational change in this country and has some wisdom to share. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following today.
Got a great vibe, you know, it's nice to walk into, you know, little stores rather than great big box stores. The service, I find, is much better.
I like the Glebe because it's a very walkable neighborhood.
Airbnb has listed the Glebe as one of the trendiest neighborhoods in the country this summer. Airbnb says the list is compiled of the top 10 neighborhoods in which bookings are up nearly 180% year over year. Among the other spots on the list, North End in Kelowna and Kensington Market in Toronto. Ahead of a possible flight attendant strike, WestJet is offering customers set to fly from July 30th to August 4th the chance to change their bookings for free. WestJet flight attendants could go on strike as soon as August 2nd. The airline says talks with CUPE, the union representing flight attendants, continues to progress, and it's optimistic an agreement can be reached. New data shows fewer drivers are complying with the posted speed limit at 8 former photo radar camera locations across Ottawa. The city continues to collect speed data at the 8 original automated speed enforcement camera locations after the province banned the cameras last fall. Stats show speed limit compliance at those sites was between 20 and 52% in June, falling to between 18 and 48% in July. Canada resident Ji Hee-jae has big plans after becoming Ottawa's newest millionaire. She won the $2 million top prize in an Ontario 49 draw last month. She says she plans to pay some bills, buy a new home, and take a trip with some of her winnings. And this father and son duo from Pembroke also celebrating a big lotto win. Michael and Brian are $1 million richer after matching all 7 encore numbers in the exact order in a May Lotto Max draw. OLG says Michael plans to get some dental work done while Brian plans to purchase a house and build a garage. Congratulations to all the lucky winners. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join Patricia Bull for CTV News at 6. The early edition of National starts now. Thanks for watching. Happy weekend.